Alrighty, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our second ever family night here on DSP Gaming. I, of course, am here with my lovely wife, Kat, and our pet Jasper Kitty is on the floor in a bread position. He looks like a loaf of bread on the floor relaxing. And we did this in a surprise stream last week, right? It shocked all of you. You were all like, oh my God, Kat is on the stream for the first time for 5.5 years.
A surprise to absolutely nobody.
It went really well. We had a lot of fun doing it. And I actually asked Kat this week, I said, do you want to come back and do another stream? It's up to you. It's an open door for you. And she thought about it for a few days. And after a few days, she says, yeah, I'll come back. Let's do it on Wednesday night. Let's relax and end your streaming week with just a chill.
I'm sure you totally didn't gaslight her or manipulate her or influence her at all. I'm sure the fact that last week you made $300 and something, I'm sure that totally didn't have anything to do with it. Also, that's probably the best frame I've ever paused on in the history of pausing.
Chill, kind of hangout stream, and that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. But let's just lay down the ground rules before we start. All right. Number one, these are questions that are supposed to be like a casual hangout session. This is not super ultra personal. Please don't be asking crazy personal questions. We have the ability to skip or not answer any questions that you toss our way. All right. This is not an interrogation or anything like that. Number two, this is not the place to be asking about, what about this documentary? What games are you going to be playing this year and stuff like that? You know, those questions are things for another day. This is for us to kind of hang out and answer questions, particularly if you have a lot of questions for Kat. Obviously, that would be tonight would be the night for that because she's here. You don't have to be asking me questions specifically and stuff like that.
Why? You're not going to let her answer them anyway. You're going to control the narrative as you always do.
As you can see, we switched sides from last week. I was over there, but because of that, I couldn't really reach anything. Now I'm easily able to man this. I can update the leaderboard on the fly. I can read emails. I can read the chat. I can read everything quickly and easily. It's just weird because I look like I'm off to the side now, right? It looks a little odd. But like I said, what we need to do is we need to perfect this. I'm on a stool that's...
It looks weird because I'm off to the side. I know, brace yourself. You're sharing your little spotlight with another person. This must be really daunting and overwhelming for you with that fragile little ego that you have. And also, you did this last week because you're about to complain about the stool that you're sitting on again. And you complained about it last week. So this means now you've had like 2 weeks to figure out what you were going to plop your big ass in for 2 hours. But we still can't figure this out. Okie dokie.
A terrible flimsy plastic stool, and we need to get something better, especially because as we told you last week, our plans are actually to do a co-op playthrough of the island mode, simulation mode, whatever it's called, in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and I gotta have a better seating situation than this in order to do it. So we're gonna look tomorrow when we're out and see if we can find a stool or an ottoman or something quick that we can grab and have for the setup, because this does not feel comfy and it's kind of weird and off to the side, okay? All right, so let's start. We already have a few shout outs to do. The way it's...
I'm so glad that we got the report about how you feel. She has said nothing, by the way. Nothing. Actually, I can't tell if she's scared, uninterested, or both. There's like a weird combo thing happening here.
Going to go is we're going to do shout outs, then we're going to read questions from the chat. In addition to that, we have a thread of questions that people posted up early in case they couldn't be here tonight. So I might go to that as well. If we run out of questions or things to do in the chat, we have a separate thread that we can reference, okay? All right, so we're actually going to start off tonight with a tip here. It looks like there's a $10 tip from Sir Ed Sheeran the Pure. And he asks, will we ever go on a couples game show? I don't even know what couples game shows even exist anymore. Are there even any? Like, when I was growing up, you know, there were a few different game shows that I would watch. But even then, like, I mean, we're talking like outdated ones. Like, I'm not talking like current ones. Yeah.
Did he ask rhetorically? Because he asked and then she didn't say anything. Are there even any game shows like that? And she said nothing, as if he was asking rhetorically. It's almost like she knew to not even chime in and answer. Or maybe she just legitimately doesn't know. But you would think in a stream like this, where audio is very important, you would think if you didn't know, you would go, huh, I don't know. What do you think? But no, she just sits there and lets him continue this very creepy, uninvited monologue.
Yeah, I used to watch like what was it, like the $25,000 pyramid and stuff like that. Um, I'm not even aware of any game shows that are couple shows. Are you aware of any current
No.
TV shows or whatever? Right? No. So I guess the answer would be no, unless you guys have suggestions. I mean, no, obviously we're not going to put our names out there or anything like that. It's kind of a silly question. Thank you for the first contribution of the night.
We wouldn't put our names out there. Like, you really need to have a giant cup of get the fuck over yourself. I mean, some people troll you and some people shit on you, but you know, if you weren't an asshole, half of that stuff wouldn't even happen to you. Stop acting like everybody in the world wants to fuck with you. Listen, we're not interested in burning down the circus. We just like to watch the clown.
Only Iced Coffee, thank you for re-upping your membership for 32 months. He said, not much to say other than I respect Kat a lot. There you go. You get some respect for coming back and being on the
Oh, that's
streams
good.
after so long. So thank you, Only Iced Coffee, for all that support. Shadow Dancer, with the first super chat of the night, says, hey guys, good to see Kat again. Thank you, Shadow Dancer, for that. And then Cloudy did a $8 super chat there. Thank you to Cloudy. Appreciate that very much. And I actually have the keyboard right in front of me, so I could type it right away. And I'm not juggling things here, which is good. So it should go much smoother this week, okay? All right, so that's it for contributions so far. If any more come in, we're going to shout them out. But in the meantime, if you want to tag me in the chat at DSP Gaming to ask us questions. The one topic we'll probably talk about tonight at some point is that we played the Tekken 8 demo last week, right? And you really liked it. So I'm sure people might ask about that. But outside of that, let's see what else you guys want to talk about.
I can't tell if he just did a really poor job of prepping her to be on a live stream where you need something more than, I'm not here to criticize her looks or her weight. I'm an adult, and frankly, the detractor community has disgusted me with the amount of fat jokes. Haha, she's heavy. We get it. Everybody grow the fuck up. It's unhealthy. I understand that, but you're better than this. Do better. You're like grown ass people. But the thing about it is she doesn't talk. She doesn't say anything. I can't tell if she's scared of him. I can't tell if this has just been imprinted on her brain to let him go, to let him monologue, to not interrupt him. Some of the time she looks scared. Half of the time she looks like she's trying to escape. But then there's other times where she just looks completely uninterested. She doesn't really necessarily look uncomfortable. It seems like most of this time, anyway, she's either still trying to scan the chat obsessively, looking for what's happening and who's saying what about her. And then half the time she's just looking off to the side like, okay, when can I punch out and get the fuck out of here? Because I don't want to do this. And how you look and how you sound, if you choose to appear on camera and in front of a microphone, is very, very important. The way you sound, the way you, just to have someone ask you a question and you go, what is this doing for anybody? I can't understand what this is. I mean, obviously, this is the 3-ring circus he's pulled her into, but do a little prep work before you pull somebody on who's never done this before.
So here you go. Derek is asking, I've lived in Seattle about 10 years. You've now lived in Seattle about 6 years?
Yeah.
It was early 2018, yes. So what is it that we like about living in Seattle? I'll let you answer first, and then I'll answer anything personally. But what do you like about living here in general?
I mean, we don't get crazy snowstorms or freezing temperatures like on the East Coast.
Right.
But
Terrible weather. Extreme weather.
yeah,
Right.
I'd say that's a positive.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
She's like looking for permission, or she's looking at him like, I don't want to. Look at the fear right now. Look at this fake smile he's got on. Keep going, bitch, or I'm going to smack you around. I don't know that that's what he's doing. I'm not implying that that's what he's doing. But she's clearly looking for help. This is a clear, I don't want to do this, or I don't know what to say, or something. And so instead of saying, oh, okay, that's good, he pushes her and goes, what? Nothing else? Real nice. Real nice.
That's all you like?
Food, I guess.
Well, what kind of food that's out here do you like?
Well, there's a lot of Asian food, like sushi places, and I don't know. I mean, the thing is like there's ups and downs to living anywhere.
That's right.
So
well, he's just asking, what do you like about being
yeah,
here,
the food,
right?
and the weather is nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously negatives too, but
Yeah.
you know.
No,
You don't know any of the negatives. You two never go outside of the house. Well, supposedly you do. Supposedly you work a part-time job. I won't buy that for a second, but okie dokie. You don't know what else is so great about it because it's the same living in Washington as it is living in Tennessee, as it is living in fucking Ecuador, because neither one of you ever go outside.
for me, it's been a couple quick things. Number one, everything here is easily within a drivable distance, and you don't have to drive long distance to really do anything.
Yeah.
You don't leave the house to do anything anyway. Everything could literally be in your backyard. You wouldn't make the short walk across the yard.
That too.
Anything we need, a grocery store is around the corner, a pet store, an electric store, a electronics store, grocery store, yeah, anything you can think of that you need. And we haven't driven on the highway since you moved here, not once, right? We haven't had to.
I don't think so.
Because everything is so close. I mean, the furthest we drove, I think, was to a doctor
I live across the country. I also do not have to get on the highway to go to the grocery store. Who'da thunk?
appointment that was like an hour away. And that's like the furthest out we've gone. You don't have to. When I lived in Connecticut, you'd have to drive halfway across the state to get to half the stuff. It was frustrating.
That can't possibly be accurate. It's such a tiny state that just, okay, maybe because it is so small, maybe it would seem like you would have to go further. This can't be accurate.
The other thing that I like about being out here is there's less people here than there were when I lived in Connecticut. It was very population dense. So anytime that I went out to do anything in Connecticut, you're sitting there in bumper to bumper traffic trying to drive around this already tiny state. And it was just a nightmare getting around. Here, you can get from point A to point B without too much traffic as long as it's not like rush hours.
Ew, darling, it's so peoply out here. Could you sound like more of a pretentious douchebag right now?
So those would be my two positives. And of course, Connecticut had a state income tax, and here there is no state income tax. There is a business tax that I pay because I operate a business here, but it's very different. But then again, our sales taxes here are higher, so it's kind of a trade-off. But I think I'd rather spend more on taxes because I choose to spend my money rather than just take it right out of my paycheck, which is what they were doing in Connecticut. So that's one of my major differences. So, okay, we have a second tip coming in tonight, a $20 tip from Ponage 101. He says, hello to Phil, Kat, and Jasper. Great to see you all back again, and great to see you back, Kat. Awesome. Thank you very much, Ponage. That is the second tip of the night. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Jasper is in here. He was actually jumping on the chair earlier, but he just decided to lay on the floor. He's on the floor right now. If he jumps up on the chair again, which he might, you know, he doesn't particularly stay in one place for too long. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm so glad during this like wife Q&A or whatever the fuck this is, I'm glad we're getting the cat update. The cat that we can't see, by the way. He might as well could say that like there's a zebra in the room laying on the floor. Like how the fuck would we know?
Thank you very much, Ponage. All right. Let's see here. So it looks like we got a couple super chats, but give me a second to get back over there. Because for some reason the leaderboard takes forever to update these days. So we have
I'm so tempted to break this down and time this. How long he talks versus how long she talks. And I would also be interested, and I probably won't do this, I don't have the time, but I would love to sit down and figure out how much of this like 2-hour thing, I only am doing this for the first hour. I can't handle any more than that, but how much of this time is him? We got a tip, we got a super chat, somebody became a member, let me type this in, let me do this. How much of the time is literally not focused on the Q&A? The chair, complaining about the cat, complaining about the weather, stopping for the tips and all that kind of bullshit. I would really love a breakdown just for this Q&A. Because right now we're 8 minutes in, but I know that he's already clipped this and cut all the some of the bullshit out. I know that really they're about 20 minutes in, and I guarantee she's talked for about 38 seconds of the last 20 minutes. Oh, and 18 minutes has like been tips.
Demon in the corner did a super chat. He says, Kat, don't be tense. Relax. It's going to be a nice, relaxing stream tonight, he said. So, there you go. And Mr. Game Master with a super chat tonight. Thank you, Game Master, for the super chat as well. Let's get you up on the leaderboard, and then we'll see what else people have to say. Okay.
For God's sake, would somebody fill the fucking uncomfortable silence? Oh, somebody do something. This is awful. She's just very clearly, she only wants to see the chat. She wants to see what people are saying about her. And he obviously switched her over there, one, so that she'd stop fucking the chat, but secondly, so that he can count his money better. So I'm not surprised at all that that happened. But she's going to break her poor little neck trying to reach over there to see.
Here we go.
Dead air, say something.
Let's see here. Okay, this is a question for you. Now, I don't know if you've ever done this before. Curly Fox says, I don't know if you said you never gamed much in the past. Did you ever play Pokemon? And what would your starter Pokemon pick be? Did you ever play Pokemon before? And did you have a starter Pokemon in any of them?
No, I don't remember. If I did, it was so long ago. I haven't played Pokemon recently.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have any Pokemon that
you don't remember? So that would probably be a no, because if you played any of them extensively, they're not particularly short games. You would think that you would know. You didn't prep her for this? Like, really, dude? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. If she's not looking scared, then she's looking silly, and I have got nobody to blame but you.
you like particularly? I mean, you probably watched me play it a few times, right?
No.
No? No? Okay. Be honest. If you don't really care about Pokemon, you don't care about Pokemon, right? Okay.
At least she told him she didn't give a fuck.
Midwest Man says, how do you like your coffee? How do you drink your coffee when you have a coffee?
Usually like flavored creamer.
Mm-hmm. Like what flavor?
Well, right now I tried that peppermint mocha flavor. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Or hazelnut.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Me, I just drink it black because I used to drink coffee when I had an office job and I would load it up. I would put creamer, I would put sugar, I would put everything, and it was so many calories that I mean, you guys remember the old videos of me, how fat I was and everything. So when I drink coffee now, I just drink a black cup of coffee because all I want is the energy boost from it. That's it. That's the only reason I'm drinking it. I'm not drinking it for flavor. I'm not drinking it for anything else. So zoop, down the hatch and done.
I'm not going to bring attention to, like, again, the elephant in the room because I don't think it's the adult thing to do, but we all know what it is, okay? And you're going to sit there and go, I'm not going to do that. It used to make me really fucking fat. Wow. Wow. I mean, even if that is what happened, you don't, you have no tact. You have no tact. You have no class, but I'm actually sitting here in shock and I mean, really just color me stupid because why am I surprised? I really shouldn't be.
So there you go. Cloudy with another super chat here. Thank you, Cloudy, for the super chat. Spidey, that would never work. He says, why don't we get a third stool and put it between us for Jasper? Jasper is not the kind of cat that just sits in one spot. In fact, as we just said that, he stood up, scratched, repositioned, and moved to a different spot on the floor. He is not a cat that, unless he's dead asleep, he's never,
move
just sitting in
from
the same
the cat,
spot.
please.
Just be honest, okay? So,
move on.
do you have any particular chocolates that you like? Do you have like a favorite brand of chocolate or type of chocolate? Right?
I guess the Hershey's with the almonds.
Hershey's, the milk or dark chocolate? What do you like?
I mean,
better?
I prefer dark chocolate because it's not as sweet, and I don't like overly sweet things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat a lot of sugar, but when I do, I prefer to have dark chocolate because it's not as sweet.
Okay.
Don't know why you'd ask these questions. It just seems a little not classy. There's some of them that I would just skip, and I wouldn't point out why we were skipping them. I would just skip it and not say anything. Oh, you asked a question? Oh, sorry, didn't see it. And then just keep moving on. You don't have to say things like, hey, so-and-so, quit asking, I'm not answering. Just don't acknowledge it. You don't have to acknowledge it. Not every little thought that goes into your head has to, like, just fall out of your mouth.
I've already answered that question a million times. I actually just love any kind of chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. I'm addicted
No one
to it.
asked you.
That's my candy. Like I prefer to eat
Nobody
anything with
asked
chocolate,
you.
and I really don't eat candy without it. So, Bloom Kid did a super chat. He said, "So for video games, do you prefer a sci-fi setting, a fantasy setting, or a modern setting when you're playing an RPG? And do you have a favorite? So sci-fi, fantasy, or modern? What would be your preference?"
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Now, when you say that, you mean like medieval?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why? Do you just like the night aesthetic more, or magic and stuff like that over?
I'm so glad this is a
sci-fi?
multiple
More fun.
choice
Like, for
Q&A.
instance, like I like Elder Scrolls more than. I mean, I like Fallout a lot, but if I had to choose, I would choose Elder Scrolls over Fallout.
I'm so glad that she has a choice. Well, would you like this, or this? This. It's like he's literally talking to a child. You know, do you want peanut butter or do you want jelly? Do you want milk or do you want chocolate milk? Oh, you want this? Oh, okay, honey, here you go. Just say, what do you like? What do you like? And let her answer. And again, she seems very confused. And I don't know is it fear? Does she feel like she's not allowed to answer? Is she scared she's going to say the wrong thing? She doesn't sound as if she has too many independent thoughts. He is really poor at asking questions because you can tell that he's attempting to sway her. Well, you don't like that, do you? That will typically cause someone to answer something in a very negative way. Oh, you didn't want anything, did you? Again, most people would be inclined to say, oh, no, thank you. I don't want anything. So there's that negative spin on things, or vice versa, a positive spin on things to make someone say, yeah, well, come on. Yeah, you want some of that, right? And someone will go, yeah, okay, I think I would like that. He's obviously very influential here. And because this is such a narcissistic relationship happening here, again, I can't tell if this is just normal. Because really, when you're dealing with someone who's very narcissistic like he is, when you're in a romantic, I use that term loosely, relationship with somebody like this, in the end, you really become nothing more than an extension of the narcissist. Really, this is just, she's kind of like an appendage now. She's just kind of there. And people that are narcissistic, they're very controlling. And what happens is however they think and feel is what you begin to think and feel. He's clearly isolated her, picked her up and moved her all the way across the way. And, they talk about friends at some point, and come on, we know there's no friends, and we know they don't talk to any family. He's got her in a nice little bubble out there where she can't get anywhere. Oh, this is all just really so very sad.
Fallout, because it's a more like I like the magic, I like the different races, I like just that kind of thing. The aesthetic is better.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Dentronics re-upped their membership for 2 months. And Dentronics, this is a question for Jasper Kitty. Now, Jasper is falling asleep. His eyes are drooping. So we'll have to answer it for his behalf, I guess. His question is, what is your favorite litter style, scented or non? And we can answer this because we've actually tried various different litters over the years with him. And the one he likes the best actually is, what is it? Is it like rose, and what is the scent? It's something with hemp in it, isn't it, or something like that?
No, it's like,
we're entertaining this. We're going to answer
this.
This.
It's like clean paws or something, or I don't know.
No, well, it's clean paws. But what was the scent? Remember, it had a particular
scent was
scent
called
to it.
Skip.
They have it at the store for some odd reason. I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Looks like we got a tip that came in here. Let's give that a look. We got a $5 tip from Andre, and he says, Phil encounters humorous moments all the time during gameplay, whether it be part of a story or a game bug. Do you encounter such moments yourself when you game? Is it something common to you to run into game bugs?
No, all the time. They're just not as memorable because I'm playing it by myself. So,
Right.
You're
They're just not as memorable because I've never seen a person come across so many bugged games as this asshole sitting right here. Yeah, every now and then something glitches and I go, that's interesting. And then I proceed to not give a fuck and move on with my life. And it doesn't really happen that often. I don't know how somebody can have quite the bad luck that he has with video games. My goodness. Can't fancy caring a whole lot about this. We're moving right along.
Right.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
Okay. This is up to you if you want to answer this or not. Dan did a super chat saying, what is your favorite quality about DSP? First of all, you can call me Phil. My name is Phil, not DSP. Yes, it's DSP on my gaming streams, but this is...
Isn't your name Dark Side Phil? Isn't that what that stands for? Wouldn't the P in DSP be Phil? Like, why are you all of a sudden getting like, ooh, like you're so toxic? You don't have to call me that. You can call but the name of your channel is DSP Gaming. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is actually wrong with you? You're so defensive and shitty right now.
A real stream of the two of us just kind of hanging out. You can call me Phil. Do you have any favorite qualities about me that you like to share?
Well, I don't know. After you just got shitty with a random stranger about nothing, I'm certainly not gonna fucking say your personality. All right, let's see what baby girl has to say here.
If not, you don't have to. This is, no pressure here or anything. Okay?
Oh, say something, honey. Oh, say
No.
something.
Funny?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. She thinks I'm funny. That's good.
does she? Does she though? Cause oh boy. Oh. Oh, that was so uncomfortable. Oh my god. Like, are these people wasps? Like, what is this? They're not married. Like, you're fucking making this up. Someone's pulling my leg. Ooh, you. What is happening? Oh my god.
That's good, right? Okay. Levi did a super chat. Says, hey, Phil, I've been a big fan all the way since your original Dead Space 1 playthrough. I've now graduated college. All the love, my man. Let's have a great 2024. Well, thank you so much to Levi. Very, very much for the super chat. And I'm glad that I've entertained you for so long. I mean, you're talking a good 15 plus years, right? I mean, that was 2008. The original Dead Space 1 playthrough when it was a brand new game.
Someone watched you and
that's
graduated
amazing.
college with what? A degree in duh?
Okay. Let's continue. Now, I know you guys are asking questions, but they've all scrolled off the screen, so if you tag me again... No, you may not call me Philip. That is not allowed. It's against the rules. Let's see here. A question for us both. I started playing the Yakuza series with Zero. Who do you like more, Kiryu or Goro? Goro Majima.
Okay, we're moving right along here. I don't have all day for this.
When I think back to the games from my youth, most of them still exist. Mario still exists. Final Fantasy still exists. Street Fighter still exists.
You're still talking.
It looks like there's a $4.11 tip.
Oh my god. This is painful.
Okay, so this person asked, this is for both of us, I guess. What non-gaming, non-food stuff do you guys like to do? For example, my wife and I do all kinds of stuff. Notably, they apparently have a farm that they run, which is pretty crazy. So do you want to take that? Like, what kind of stuff do we do outside of just gaming, right?
Well, we have our day off, and
so you go shopping and clean your house?
Yep. That's right.
Oh, this is so fucking sad.
It's not consistent. Like, we don't watch narrative-based shows. Usually we're watching like a reality show.
Detractor Unlocked Argentina. Whoever's video this is, big ups.
It's not always just a show on like a TV station. We're watching, as I've told you guys over the years, now we've begun to watch other YouTubers and Let's Players.
So if we're not eating and playing games,
because we know idiots would go.
So if we're not eating and playing games, then we're watching somebody eat and play video games. Work experience at a gas station. What the hell I couldn't give two fucks about Tekken 8. Phil's on-screen persona versus... Oh, this might be interesting. Let's see what we got here. I gotta get to something interesting. These people are fucking killing me.
Even in the corner, but in general, if you wanted to answer it, I mean, you have a friend or two out here who's like people from your jobs and
stuff.
I'm
not gonna talk about that because there's too many weirdos.
Exactly, that's the problem. As much as I'd like to say, sure, we have some friends and acquaintances out here and we hang out with them and we do this and that. Like, there's personal stories we could tell. But you don't like nobody. Involves them, and we have so many stalkers on the internet who are just nuts. They'd probably try to track these fucking people down and be malicious to them.
Right.
So we're not going to do that. Okay.
There ain't nobody. There's no one to be malicious to.
So FizzGeek, thanks for the super chat, but I think we've already kind of answered the question. He basically says, "I've been following you since you started. You don't let the drama get to you, and you're both."
It's Atlas's video. I didn't see that until just now. Big ups, Atlas. I love your videos.
are awesome. What hobbies do you have? I think we already answered that, right? Like, we like to watch other YouTubers do some playthroughs.
Yeah.
We're we're gamers. We watch some shows together, and that's for what allows with the time that we have together. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working a ton, and because of that, because I'm in here 6 days a week, full time, we don't have a lot of time to do a big, tons of other activities or whatever. Like that to change in the long term. By the way, here comes Jasper Kitty. Now, Jasper, we'll have no clawing tonight, buddy. All right? Does anyone have a question for Jasper Kitty while he's here? Hurry up. Ask Jasper a question before he gets down.
I'm dying. Please help me.
He wants to crawl on me because he's so used to crawling on me. I got him.
Yeah, don't let him.
I thought we were doing something.
Tip here. I don't want to miss it because it came in a few minutes ago. A $2 tip from Slie. Do you guys like Jägermeister? Have you had Jägermeister?
I'm the alcoholic in this house, honey.
I think that would be pretty neat. Okay. Let's see here. We've got
some stupid idiot.
Yeah, just a moron. No worries. Got a $7 tip here. Again from August. Since I'm here, I might as well share. I like watching you, Phil, but I haven't recently. I do find Baldur's Gate 3 and Sea of Stars boring. So, big ups to the mods for helping put in work tonight, and for Kat. And your makeup is on point tonight.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, thank you, August, for a $7 tip. And thanks for the nice words and compliments, right? Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Like, right now, personally, I understand. I'm juggling 2 RPGs. I'm trying to play Resident Evil along with it, but there's not much you can really do. We got other games. We got Tekken 8. That's going to be huge and different, right? But then I'm also going to be playing Like a Dragon, so it's another RPG. So I hear you. This is like the...
But you're the one making, and we're back to talking about, like, things that you don't need to discuss with your audience. Oh, my God. Like, why are you doing this? Okay, Baldur's Gate, like, everybody was on your case to play that one. Okay, fine. You picked Sea of Stars, and now you're super fucking aggravated that nobody is giving a fuck. Resident Evil 0 is interesting only because you're so actual shit, like, your actual ass cheeks at that game. That's why everyone's interested in it. To watch you piss and whine and moan and cry like an actual child because you suck ass at your video game. That is what this is all about. So you're the one making the decisions about what you play on. Oh my God, I can't get into all of this. Isn't this supposed to be like about the woman sitting next to you? Like, not your fucking bullshit problems?
Year of RPGs is insane. The amount of RPGs that are coming out within like a 4-month period. I don't know why these game devs think that's a good idea. I take personally enjoying things together at the same time. I help her with a game if she's playing it or whatever.
No, you don't.
Watch a playthrough. We're not constant a couple that goes back and forth in that kind of a relationship. Some people are, and that's fine if you are. We're just not. So when you ask a question like that, you understand we just don't have an answer. Like, no, there's nothing particularly about her that bothers me that I want to tell you guys, and now we can laugh and make fun at each other, and then she'll make fun of me. It's not like that. You understand?
Well, first of all, we know that your ego couldn't handle if she poked fun at you or made fun of it. But isn't that kind of what being a couple is all about? I call it play fighting. It's not real fighting, but just, you call somebody out, you bust their balls, it happens to you. You have this little play fighty thing back and forth, but I guess for someone like you would probably take it all really seriously and get really butthurt and then yell at her, and she doesn't want to hear about it. So, but I'm quite convinced you two have no interaction. This is not even roommates. This is just like, we are 2 strangers that now live in the same house. And I don't think it was always like this. I don't think she was always like this. This is the way that you have now made her. She did not used to be like this. I can't fathom that she would be.
So, appreciate the super chat, but there's not going to be answers to those kind of questions, honestly. All right?
No, because we're people that don't interact.
Okay. Right? Ton.
Jasper's meowing habits, Dragon Ball game,
for some reason, when he comes
adoption,
in here, he like zips
favorite
the lip.
games of all time.
I don't know if he's camera shy or whatever.
Addressing
I don't think he understands
repeated
the camera is. Maybe it's the lighting. Stories. Look at this. Do you have any ghost stories or stories of the supernatural or anything like that? Have you ever had like a supernatural experience?
All the time. Yeah.
No. So I guess the answer is no. No. Did you ever play Morrowind before?
No, Morrowind is before.
That's Oblivion. Even before Oblivion.
That's even older.
Even older. I
Yeah.
tried, and I played it for like, what was it, like a few weeks, like a month,
Yeah.
and I played it like 2 streams a week or something
We're
like that.
back
And
to
even then, I got bored of it.
nobody
And I couldn't
asked
keep playing it.
you.
All right, and we're gonna jump back to the chat in a second. Just let me update the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, I gotta update that leaderboard.
Okay, here. Someone, and I apologize, the name scrolled off the screen. Did you ever play any kind of a musical instrument at all in your life, at any time?
No, not fully. I tried to learn, but I never really had time or to really like fully learn any instruments. So.
Did you want to learn a particular instrument? Like for me growing up, I actually always wanted to learn the guitar, and I never got to learn the guitar. It was just something I kind of wanted to do, and I never got around to
Then
it.
you didn't want to do it that much.
I would say for me, it's probably the violin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Classical.
Yeah.
Classical music. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
He literally just learned that about his wife. He literally had no idea about that. The way he was like, oh, wow, that was not fake. He legitimately had never asked her that question. These two, whatever the hell these things are, have supposedly been married for like 5 years, which means they've known each other presumably 6+ years, or 6 or 7+ years. He had no idea about that. Imagine how many things he's legitimately learning about her. I don't know if she can remember far enough into the before time before he fucking like broke her soul and her spirit and made this. But he literally just learned something about her.
All right. Swinging back over to tips again, and then we're actually going to end up splitting the part in just a minute. An hour. Interesting.
Yeah,
We
so
love
I
money.
like that one the best. Like besides
Small pets.
Before we were together, did you own any other small pets before in your lifetime?
I can't imagine caring about something any less than this. There is nothing I can actually care about less than that. That's going to do it for me. I can't listen to any more of this. It is so boring. It is so sad. It is so just awful and terrible. I just wanted to document it for myself, and maybe if anybody else wants to take a listen. If you do and you like it, I would appreciate a thumbs up or a sub, and I will do more of these sometime soon. Okay,